Greetings, esteemed travelers. Regardless of whether you are a seasoned air passenger who flies several times a year or are preparing for your first flight in a long time, one constant remains. Air travel can be an exhausting ordeal, full of complexities and at times causing confusion, especially as we get older. However, there is encouraging news. Leading air carriers like American Airlines, Delta, and United actually offer an impressive list of free services and privileges specifically designed to make your journey simpler and more comfortable. The main problem is that the vast majority of passengers do not even suspect their existence, and even fewer people know how to correctly request these services. That is precisely why today we will detail 15 absolutely complimentary options that senior travelers are entitled to request during a flight. There are no hidden fees here, no pushed premium upgrades, only genuinely useful services that are either already included or readily available upon your request. It doesn't matter if you are heading to a family celebration, a long-awaited vacation, or even a medical consultation in another state. These recommendations can make your next trip significantly smoother, safer, and incomparably more comfortable. Let's get started, beginning with number 15. Number 15. Free amenity kits on long-haul flights. If your route takes you across an ocean or involves a long overnight flight, many major airlines, especially on transatlantic or trans-Pacific routes, provide free travel kits. These kits are provided with particular willingness to senior passengers who make such a request. Inside these compact bags you can find items that are extremely useful in flight. A toothbrush and toothpaste, moisturizing hand lotion, lip balm, an eye mask, earplugs, and even warm socks or a small comb. The trick is that the crew does not always automatically distribute them in economy class and of course, will not advertise this opportunity without your request. However, if you are a traveler of age, a polite inquiry can radically change the situation, especially on flights lasting over 6 hours. Crew members are generally willing to accommodate, especially if they have surplus kits from business or premium economy class. These kits can be a real lifesaver for maintaining a feeling of freshness and comfort mid-flight, which is especially relevant during night hours when the cabin air becomes dry, the temperature drops, and maintaining personal hygiene in a confined space becomes difficult. A little tip, if you're not sure, just delicately ask a flight attendant about the availability of comfort kits or travel kits. In the worst-case scenario, you'll hear a no, but very often the result will pleasantly surprise you. Number 14. Assistance with connecting flights. Navigating gigantic airports like Hartsfield-Jackson in Atlanta or O'Hare in Chicago can be a real challenge, especially for seniors with limited mobility or during short layovers between flights. Fortunately, airlines are required to provide free assistance with connections to significantly ease this process. In the United States, this right is protected by the Federal Air Carrier Access Act. This service includes personal escort, transportation on electric carts through the terminal, or other motorized assistance in large airports. To take advantage of this opportunity, you must notify the airline when booking your ticket or contact their customer support at least 48 hours before your flight. You can also ask for help from airline agents at the boarding gate if your plans suddenly change. In the event your arriving flight is delayed, creating a risk of missing your connection, the staff will give you priority attention if they are aware of your need for assistance. This support is not just for people who use wheelchairs, it is available to anyone who might need extra help navigating the terminals, whether it's due to bad knees, using a cane, or simply wanting support in the hustle and bustle of the airport. Do not hesitate to ask. This can make your journey much more organized and less stressful. Access to airport lounges. Believe it or not, senior travelers can sometimes gain free access to premium airport lounges, even when holding an economy class ticket. Although these lounges are traditionally reserved for business class passengers or holders of elite status in loyalty programs, seniors are often granted access through partner programs or as a gesture of goodwill, especially on international routes or during long layovers. Even a basic level of membership in an airline's loyalty program might grant free or significantly discounted entry. Some lounges may also accommodate seniors flying in premium economy or those who require special attention, provided there is space available. Furthermore, many travel-focused credit cards, often chosen by retirees, include complimentary lounge access and guest passes in their benefits package. Such lounges provide a quiet and calm sanctuary, with free snacks, drinks, Wi-Fi access, clean restrooms, and comfortable seating. A huge relief during long waits for seniors who need a rest from the noise and crowds. The key is to politely inquire about this possibility at the check-in counter or at the boarding gate. You might be very pleasantly surprised to receive a complimentary pass. Help with carry-on luggage. Lifting heavy suitcases into the overhead bins can be not only difficult but also risky for many seniors, associated with the risk of a back or shoulder injury. Fortunately, airlines provide free assistance with stowing carry-on luggage. All you have to do is ask. Flight attendants are specially trained to help passengers stow their belongings and usually give priority to seniors, especially those with visible mobility issues or who have politely and proactively made a request. The best time to do this is right after boarding the plane, or you can inform the gate agent in advance so the crew can be ready to assist. Help is also available for personal items that need to be placed under the seat in front of you. If you're struggling before you even board, the staff at the check-in counter or at the gate can help you. You don't have to handle it all alone. Asking for help is your legal right and ensures a safer and more comfortable start to your flight. Upgrades to a higher class of service. While not guaranteed, senior travelers can sometimes receive a free upgrade simply by asking for one delicately. The chances increase if the flight is not fully booked, or if the passenger has a valid reason such as a medical condition or mobility issues. Airlines certainly prioritize passengers with high status in their loyalty programs, but when there are empty seats in business or premium economy, gate agents and senior flight attendants sometimes have the authority to move passengers. Seniors who are polite, arrive at the gate early, and sincerely state their need, for example, the need for extra space due to a recent surgery or joint pain, may be considered for an upgrade. It is crucial to make your request calmly and respectfully, ideally at the check-in counter or to the agent at the gate before the main boarding process begins. Mention if you require more legroom, or if prolonged sitting in a standard seat causes you discomfort. Even if you are not moved to first class, you might be offered a seat in a bulkhead or exit row, which has significantly more space. This is already a noticeable improvement, and it is often free. Remember, the key is not to demand but to ask with a smile, clearly explaining your needs and expressing gratitude. Airline staff are often willing to make concessions for seniors who treat them with kindness and understanding. Long flights can feel like an eternity without something to watch or listen to. And while many modern airliners are equipped with seatback screens or offer streaming services, they don't always provide the necessary accessories to use them. That's why one of the often overlooked freebies is the provision of headphones. If you don't have your own or forgot them, simply ask a flight attendant after you've boarded. Most major airlines distribute basic wired headphones for free, especially on longer domestic or international flights. Some carriers, on aircraft without built-in screens, may even offer tablets for temporary use, preloaded with movies, games, and TV shows. For seniors who may not be as tech-savvy, such ready-made solutions are an excellent alternative to having to set up streaming on their own phone or tablet. Additionally, if you have hearing problems, you can request headphones with enhanced volume, or ask if closed captions are available on the in-flight entertainment system. Although the quality of the provided headphones may be inferior to your personal ones, they are more than adequate for a comfortable pastime, and you won't be charged for them if you ask politely and in advance before they run out. Airplane cabins can be surprisingly cool, especially during long, overnight flights. For seniors, who may be more sensitive to temperature changes, staying warm and comfortable is crucial. This is where blankets and pillows, offered for free on many flights, come in handy. While most international and overnight routes still have these comfort items, they're not always handed out automatically to every economy class passenger. So, you will likely need to ask a flight attendant for one. Senior passengers are often given priority for such items, especially if they mention they're feeling cold or need a bit of extra back support. Even a small pillow placed behind your lower back or neck can, honestly, make a big difference in comfort during a long journey. And, a blanket can help ward off that chill you often feel because of the high-altitude air circulation. Here's a practical tip. If you board among the first passengers, your chances of getting a blanket or pillow before supplies run out are definitely higher. The number of blankets and pillows might be limited, especially on budget airlines or shorter routes, so don't hesitate to ask. These comfort items are there to make your flight more pleasant. Crew members are usually happy to help, especially when it comes to senior passengers who might need a little extra care. Extra water and snacks. Flying can lead to dehydration, a condition that affects seniors more severely due to age, medications, or dietary needs. Fortunately, you can always ask for extra water and snacks completely free of charge throughout the flight. Flight attendants are generally understanding of such requests, especially if you explain that you need water for medication or are feeling slightly unwell. There's no need to wait for the beverage cart to roll down the aisle. Simply use the flight attendant call button or, when it is safe to do so, politely approach the galley. In addition to the standard snack offerings, some airlines may offer something extra upon request, such as cookies, crackers, or even fresh fruit. If you have specific dietary restrictions, mention them at the beginning of the flight. Some carriers stock low-sodium or low-sugar snacks that may be available upon request. Maintaining hydration and blood sugar levels is essential for comfort during air travel, so seniors should never hesitate to ask for what they need to feel their best throughout the journey. Special meals like low-sodium or diabetic options can make a big difference. Managing one's diet on flights can be a real challenge for seniors with certain health conditions like diabetes, hypertension, or food allergies. Fortunately, airlines offer a wide variety of free special meals including low-sodium, diabetic, gluten-free, vegetarian, kosher, and halal options. To guarantee your meal request, you should make it when booking your ticket or no later than 24 to 48 hours before departure via the airline's website or call center. If you forget to do it in advance, it's still worth asking the flight attendant on board. They might have spare portions, although the selection will be limited. Many senior travelers don't realize that this service is completely free and easily accessible. Clearly state your dietary needs and, just in case, always carry a small supply of suitable snacks or necessary medications with you. Planning ahead is the key to a smooth and worry-free flight experience. For seniors with medical conditions, air travel can raise serious concerns about comfort and safety. Fortunately, airlines offer some medical support and access to supplies during the flight, but most of these services require advance notice. One of the most common requests is for in-flight oxygen. While airlines generally do not provide oxygen on demand during a flight, most permit passengers to bring their own FAA-approved portable oxygen concentrators on board, provided you notify them in advance, typically at least 48 hours before departure. In exceptional emergency medical situations, the crew may provide access to the aircraft's onboard oxygen, but this really depends on the airline's policy and the equipment of the specific aircraft. Furthermore, flight attendants are trained to provide first aid to passengers who feel unwell during a flight, including those who may experience heart problems, breathing difficulties, or even mobility issues. If you have medications or medical devices that you might need during the flight, be sure to inform the crew as soon as you board. For seniors with chronic conditions, many airlines are willing to provide priority assistance, including help with medication reminders or safe movement around the cabin. There are also emergency medical kits on board, and you can always discreetly ask for support if you feel unwell. Remember, the key to accessing these services is to clearly communicate your needs in advance. Airlines want to ensure your safety and comfort, so don't be afraid to speak up. Extra legroom upon request and availability. Seniors often find standard airline seats extremely uncomfortable due to the limited space. However, many airlines offer seats with extra legroom for free or at no additional charge if you ask politely, and if such seats are available. These seats, located in places like exit rows or bulkheads, provide much-needed space to stretch your legs and prevent joint stiffness. To increase your chances, you should make your request in advance, either at the check-in counter or at the boarding gate. And be sure to explain if you have a medical condition like arthritis or maybe a recent injury that makes the extra space not just desirable, but actually necessary. While it's not a guarantee, gate agents and flight attendants are often understanding and willing to help senior passengers get more comfortable seating whenever possible. So, while most airlines these days charge a fee for advanced seat selection, senior passengers can often qualify for a complimentary or priority seat assignment, especially if they need extra assistance or have mobility issues. You know, some carriers have internal policies that actually allow senior travelers to select their seats without an extra charge, particularly when booking directly through a call center or when speaking to an agent at the check-in counter. If you're traveling alone or with a companion, just a polite request for a seat in the front of the aircraft, near a lavatory, or with easier aisle access, can really make your flight a whole lot more comfortable. To take advantage of this, mention your needs when booking or at check-in, and don't hesitate to gently remind the agent at the gate. Airlines aim to accommodate seniors, so advocating for your needs is key. It's all about ensuring your comfort without extra costs. Traveling in your senior years doesn't have to be stressful or uncomfortable. By knowing which free services you can request, from wheelchair assistance to extra snacks and special meals, you can make your flight easier and more enjoyable. Always speak up politely and in advance, and remember that the airline staff is there to help. Use these tips to take full advantage of the perks designed just for you. Happy travels! One of the most valuable free services that seniors can request is wheelchair assistance at the airport. Whether you have difficulty walking long distances, standing in lines, or navigating busy terminals, airlines provide comprehensive wheelchair support from check-in, through security, all the way to the boarding gate, and even to the baggage claim area after you land. You can request wheelchair assistance when booking your ticket or by calling the airline at least 48 hours before your flight. Upon arrival at the airport, a staff member will be ready to help you navigate through security, get you to the aircraft comfortably, and meet you as you deplane. This service significantly reduces physical strain and stress, ensuring a much smoother and more pleasant journey. Even if you don't need a wheelchair full-time, you can request it for help with long distances or navigating stairs and escalators. Hey, don't hesitate to ask. Wheelchair assistance is actually a really common and completely free accommodation that's designed to help seniors travel with ease and dignity. Seniors can often request priority boarding, to avoid the stress and rush of boarding with the general crowd. This option lets you get settled early, easily stow your carry-on luggage, and find your seat without feeling pressured at all. Priority boarding is usually available if you ask at the check-in counter or at the boarding gate. Many airlines automatically offer it to seniors, but it never hurts to confirm. Early boarding also means less walking through crowded aisles, which is helpful if you have mobility issues or want to avoid standing in long lines. Flying can be stressful for seniors, especially when it comes to navigating busy airports and crowded airplanes. Fortunately, airlines are required to provide free extra assistance with boarding and deplaning for senior passengers who request it. This service helps ensure a calm and unhurried boarding process, allowing you to get settled without feeling rushed or overwhelmed. You can ask gate agents or flight attendants for the opportunity to board earlier than the general crowd, which gives you more time to get settled in your seat and stow your belongings. Some airlines also offer assistance with navigating the jet bridge, or even provide an escort to your seat. When it's time to deplane, staff can help you exit the aircraft safely and promptly, minimizing wait times in the aisle and reducing stress, especially if you have mobility challenges. To arrange this, notify the airline in advance or speak with the gate agent when you arrive at the airport. Do not hesitate to ask. This service is designed to make your journey easier and more comfortable.